What is communism? Communism is the attempt to convey preferences socially rather than through formal procedures or without dedicating adequate bandwidth to transmitting preference details and monitoring local compliance with them, based on imagining people are able to share information socially and know what other people are seeing and doing more easily than they can. When I buy a hamburger, the price I am willing to pay and the price suppliers charge for beef and kitchen labor tell the restaurant owner what the cost and benefit is to us of him making different decisions. The banker and middleman are necessary to help convey these costs and benefits to the restaurant owner and coordinate everyone's resources to do things that best benefit each other. But not every benefit has a money transaction. A person with no money would benefit from getting food, but the amount of that benefit is not known because no price transaction can take place. I benefit from other people's children going to school, but that benefit to me and the cost of producing that benefit just for me cannot be separated out. A specific person cannot tell me a price to educate one child, and I cannot decide whether to educate that one child at that price. When the preferences of strangers cannot be conveyed through the supply chain as incentives in money transactions, they need to be conveyed as detailed lists of preferences. The details of those preferences need to be discovered by votes, research, and natural selection, and written down by legislators. Then people with no direct benefit from the actions of others need to judge whether their choices fell within the boundaries of those preferences and convey a reward or punishment. Both these groups following the rules is a benefit to others. So people with no direct benefit from whether other groups are following the rules then need to monitor whether they are following the rules to convey the indirect preferences and not their own preferences or agenda. Numerous formal structures, such as courts, juries, voters, and other dedicated checks and balances, are necessary to convey these incentives to local decision makers the way banks and middlemen convey them in price transactions. In this manner, strangers are arranged in a scheme where they check each other based on fragments of local information which only they can see, so that their decisions reflect the costs and benefits to strangers of using their own property in different ways, or of making different decisions combining their local information with the remote preferences. Communism is the impulse to not see how all this is necessary, and therefore to see all this as expensive and producing suboptimal results, and to imagine it can be replaced with simpler social transmission of preferences with less cost and flaws. Communists imagine voters can just look at what government employees are doing, detail what they want them to do by voting for a president, and the president can then tell those details to government employees without needing any other costly monitors to convey details to local actors. Not spending money on information processes results in lack of coordination, where local actors and social groups harm each other,